Well, having a job is an essential part of living, but that doesn't mean you have to have a job that you hate. Our My Empowerment coach, Boaz, has just the right tips if you're fed up with your current job or if you're just settling for a paycheck every 2 weeks. Instead of being unhappy, why not create? Yes, create your own job. I'd like to welcome Boaz back to our show this morning. Good to see you.
Thank you, Danielle. Glad to be here.
What a timely topic, right?
Absolutely.
You know, there's so much going on out there. You know, we've got the economy, we've got the recession, we have people who are finding themselves downsized, having to change professions altogether in some cases. But, and I know you know this, looking for a job is a full-time job, right?
Yes.
And you get out there, you fill out the application, you're facing all this competition, you're getting rejected. What are we doing wrong?
Okay, the first thing is I believe we have to change the title of what we're doing here. Okay. Instead of looking for a job, how about creating a position? I have never in my life actually gotten a job. I've created positions, and that's what we want our audience to think after we talk here, to create a position rather than go look for a job.
All right, so create a position. What if we don't have time to do that?
I understand, but here's what I think most people are doing wrong. Most people, because of the internet now, we have access to all kinds of companies. So people are home at night or all day long, they're filling out applications, they're emailing them, they're applying online, or they're mailing applications. Guess what? Thousands of millions and other people are doing the same thing.
Well, that is true.
So your resume ends up being online with 1,000 other people. Your resume that you mail to a company ends up with 1,000 other people. What are the odds that you're going to get called back? So I figure we've got to do something different. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Well, I do want to get into a little bit of that in terms of what we can do differently. So with the economy different than it's ever been in our lifetimes, what can we do? What can we do that's different?
Let's go back to the book Think and Grow Rich. We've talked about this book before. It's a fabulous book. Written in 1935, still totally applicable today. He tells in a chapter, Napoleon Hill says, market yourself. Market yourself, which is different than applying for a job.
Okay.
So here's my suggestion. Put together a one-page letter to 10 companies that you would ideally like to work for in your area. Well, Danielle, if you ask me, it would be this list. I'd love to work for these companies. Identify the CEO of each one of those companies. Easy enough. Call the receptionist. Who's the CEO? Write a one-page letter to each one of those 10 CEOs, not your resume, a one-page letter. Dear Mr. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so, I believe with my background in accounting and marketing, whatever else, I could be a great asset to your company. Give me a call and let's talk. And then send that letter to each one of those 10 CEOs every week, once a week by FedEx until they call.
And they're likely going to call you because they're going to think, who is this person who is sending me a FedEx every week?
Exactly. It cannot be a FedEx stalker. Somebody eventually might open it up and say, wait a minute, this person is showing initiative. Now, about the fourth week, if you don't get any responses, start adding some little yellow Post-it notes right on the letter. One says, I'm sure glad you finally opened this. Another one says, aren't you impressed with how I got your attention? Oh, no, we don't like people here who are very creative. About the seventh week, if you don't get a response, send a brand new baseball to each one of the 10 CEOs. Handwritten note, I'm the one sending the Monday morning letter. Sooner or later, we will play ball. Call me.
So why are we hitting for the moon going to the CEO?
Here's the difference, Danielle. If you and I apply for a position, usually it's going to go to the HR department, an HR assistant, or the HR director. I was taught, go to the top and come backwards from there rather than trying to build your way up from the bottom. So when you get the attention of a CEO by doing these weekly FedExes, sooner or later, if they like your initiative, they will simply write a note on your letter to the HR director, talk to Danielle. I've gotten notes from people who say, I got a call, and the lady said, my CEO said for me to call you. There's a huge difference.
You know what, as I'm listening to you here, I think some of it, and correct me if I'm wrong, isn't it about discovering your talents?
Exactly. And here's how people can do that. So before you even write the letters, you should identify, what am I good at? What would I like to do? So get a one-page form, make yourself a form, a line down the middle. Over the top on the left-hand side, you say things I'm good at, and over the right-hand side, things I like to do. And then over a week, make a list. If you're good at dealing with people and you like to read books, put those on the list. And then what you want to do is find something that goes across the line. So let's say you are that person who is good at dealing with people and you like to read. So naturally, you would do your best either owning or working in a bookstore. So you see, we want to identify something you're both good at and you like to do, and then identify the 10 top companies that have bookstores. Send the letter to the CEOs.
Isn't it, and this is something my dad would always tell me, it's always easier to find a job when you have a job. So is it true that you shouldn't wait, though, until you're unemployed before you maybe start looking for that next opportunity that you're creating?
Absolutely, and that's where that form could help you. Because if you're in a position that you may be good at but you don't like, then you need to find something that crosses the boundaries between one and the other. So yes, it's important to identify that, network with people you like, and let them know what you really want to do one day. Because you might think of something, for me, if I have a different area that I want to pursue.
That's true. And then it always circles back, too, to what you and I talk about a lot in these segments, which is that champion attitude.
Exactly.
And bringing that to the table every single day you go out there with that baseball to play ball.
And here's how we do that. Most people are doing affirmations that are not helping them to find a position. I can't find a job is a very strong affirmation in the wrong direction. So I suggest writing an affirmation that says, I am a champion, I've accepted a great position. Say that first thing in the morning, last thing at night. Don't analyze it, just say it. It will change your whole attitude toward creating a position. Well,
as always, just great advice, Boaz. Always good to see you.
A pleasure, Danielle.
See you again soon. And for more information on our My Empowerment Coach, Boaz, simply go to our website, thebalancingact.com, and click on the Boaz link. And while you are there, you can also inquire as to how you can hire this great guy, Boaz, for a speaking engagement. And you'll also find information on his weekly power notes that will inspire you and motivate you as well. So be sure and check it out.